Brain freeze.
Hannah, did you eat all of my fancy popsicles?
Maybe.
We are getting creative today with Popsicles on the Wonderly Way. Today we are creating popsicles inspired by our favorite desserts, but you could really apply that to any kind of dessert, so you should try popsicleizing your favorite.
Recently I had this amazing strawberry and basil drink, like a cocktail, and I decided to throw in a little balsamic vinegar and make my own popsicle that way.
And I am gonna make a mango lassi popsicle, and all you need is a popsicle mold and a blender, and you are good to go.
If you don't have popsicle molds at home, you can do this yourself with Dixie cups and popsicle sticks.
So for the mango lassi popsicles, you will need mango, of course, and sugar, about 2 tablespoons, a half a cup of milk, a cup and a half of Greek yogurt, a pinch of salt, and a big pinch of cardamom. And then at the end, I chopped up some pistachios so that you can roll the popsicle in it. So let's start chopping up the mango.
Let's do it.
Now you could use frozen chunks of mango, which would be easier because mangoes are hard to chop. You score it in the middle, but the fun part is at the end because then you flip it and it's like a little hedgehog of mango. Okay, then you just chop it, right?
Look at that. That's pretty cute.
Yeah, and then you're not dealing with peeling. Next, we will put in our cup and a half of Greek yogurt. We put in a half cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar. We need a pinch of our salt, and then a big pinch of cardamom. And let us blend. Now we pour. And then we can put our tops on.
Alrighty. So now it's time for strawberry basil balsamic popsicles. First up, we are going to grab our strawberries. Now in preparing these, we are going to hull them and chop them. Hull is basically just removing the green part from the strawberry. Now we're gonna add 1 cup of Greek yogurt, a teaspoon of balsamic next, half cup of honey, and now
basil.
Basil, last but not least. Roughly chop this up.
In you go.
Drop this in there. Let's throw that on the blender. Perfect, let's throw these in the freezer.
In about 4 hours, they will be done. We did it, here they are. And I actually chopped up some pistachios that I could dip it in, so I have a nice little extra treat.
So you should try these out and let us know how they go, or try some of your own flavors.
Yeah, and let us know what flavors you make.
Well, obviously those were super delicious popsicles, and we have recipes in the description below, one of which, your mango lassi recipe, comes from the blog Desserts for Breakfast, so you should check it out. It's awesome.
And speaking of recommendations, we are going to start recommending some of our favorite things each week. So Hannah, why don't you kick us off and tell us one of your recommendations?
This week I am recommending Cop Selfies, which is a Tumblr that is exactly how it sounds. It is a collection of police officers taking photos of themselves, which is awesome because when you think of cops, they're very, kind of stern. They lay down the law, but in this Tumblr, they're in the mirror, there's some duck face, and they're in their bathrooms, and it's weird and it's funny. And of course, there has to be a cute animal component for me to love it. And there's one on there recently of a cop holding a tiny pig, which is adorable and funny, and you should check it out. It's Cop Selfies.
Now, my recommendation is for a book. Now, if you happen to like The Hunger Games, like I did, I think you'll like this book. So this book is also a young adult book that takes place in a dystopian future, and it is called Pure. It's part of a trilogy by Juliana Baggett, and it begins after the apocalypse, where there was a dome built that saved some people, the Pures, and then everyone who was outside when this whole disaster happened, the impures, they were fused to whatever they were holding. So the main character, she was holding a doll, and she ended up with a doll hand. And then there's another guy who a flock of birds flew over when it happened, so he has flapping flock of birds on his back. So if you like sort of weird, creepy, futuristic things, you should check it out.
We've been asking you a lot of questions and soliciting your advice and stuff, and you've been leaving some really great comments, so we thought we'd highlight some of them.
Rethink Our Reality says, Hannah's Boston accent is the cutest.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you. Heidi Torres wanted to get an hola from the Dominican Republic.
Claro que sí. Hola, Heidi.
Swiss Jenny 29 is bummed because she's lactose intolerant.
Don't be bummed. You could make a sorbet. Or on today's Popsicle episode, you do not need to use Greek yogurt. You could use fruit juice. You could use all sorts of other things.
Fresh fruit, mango cubes, instead of cutting up a mango.
Yes.
On our ice cream episode, we asked a bunch of you what your favorite flavors were and what some of the weirdest flavors you'd ever heard of or tasted were.
One of my favorites on there, Red Bull and bubblegum.
That's weird. I think that falls under weirdest.
Maybe delicious.
Somebody mentioned graham cracker ice cream, which is actually my favorite ice cream
And
ever.
coffee ice cream was mentioned a lot.
A lot.
And that is one of my favorite normal, sort of standard ice cream.
That's some synergy right there. Somebody also mentioned sea salt and olive oil on vanilla ice cream, which sounds very intriguing. I'd totally give that a try.
Thanks so much for commenting. We'll be back next week with more from you. Well, that is all we have for today. If you have something cool you'd like to share with us, let us know and maybe we'll feature it in a future episode.
Don't forget to tell us about your popsicles, your experiments, and your ideas. Or just how you're feeling. Let us know. We want to hear it.
And don't forget to subscribe for more Wonderly Way. We have lots more pop culture recommendations, how-tos, DIYs, you name it.
Next week, we're sitting down with some of the ladies from Edge of Normal, so don't miss that.
Yeah, and check out their finale coming out this coming Tuesday.
We will see you next week.